Hello, welcome friends. Till now, we had seen simple harmonic motion and parameters about simple harmonic motion. And also we had seen an equation for acceleration, velocity, displacement, time period, etc. Now today we'll see the superposition of two simple harmonic motion. Superposition of two simple harmonic motion. So let us imagine. Till now, we had considered that a single particle is subjected to a single simple harmonic motion. Means when a particle is subjected to a simple harmonic motion, it oscillates about its equilibrium position. But now, suppose the single particle is subjected to two simultaneously simple harmonic motions. Means at a time both the simple harmonic motions are acting on a particle, and because of that each simple harmonic motion will try to give or will try to oscillate that particle about its equilibrium position. So because of this, what happened? The resultant displacement of a particle which is performing SHM is equal to the vector sum of two individual displacements of the two given simple harmonic motion. Here we are considering vector sum. So vector sum, it means that while adding the two displacement, we must consider the direction of displacement. Because whenever we think or whenever we consider a vector quantity, we must think about its direction as well as magnitude. And that's why here, while adding these two displacements, we have to consider their directions also. And so it will be a vector sum of two displacements. This is a rough idea about the superposition of two simple harmonic motion. So moreover, we can see that when a single particle is subjected to two simple harmonic motions simultaneously, having the same period, having the same period and takes place along the same path. These are the basic conditions. These two simple harmonic motion must have the same time period and they must take place along a same path, and they are having different different amplitudes and different initial phases. So these two simple harmonic motion must have the same time period, must take place along the same path, and they must have different amplitude as well as different initial phases. So if this happens, then the resultant displacement, in such a case, the resultant displacement of a simple harmonic motion is equal to the vector sum of two individual displacement of the given two simple harmonic motion. So here in detail we can obtain the various equation as far as this superposition of two simple harmonic motion is concerned. So let us consider the first simple harmonic motion having displacement x1, which is given by a 1 sine of omega t plus phi 1. This is the displacement due to the first simple harmonic motion, and we call it as x1 is equal to a1 sine omega t plus phi 1. This equation we had already seen earlier. Then let us consider the second simple harmonic motion x2 having displacement x2 is equal to a2 is equal to a2 sine of omega t plus phi 2. Here a2 is the amplitude for second simple harmonic motion. Phi 2 is the initial phase for the second SHM, and here you can see omega t, and here also it is omega t, because both the simple harmonic motions are having the same time period, so there is no change in t. And this omega actually in case of circular motion we call it as angular velocity, but as far as you are studying simple harmonic motion, this omega is called as angular frequency. This omega is called as angular frequency, which decides the periodicity of the simple harmonic motion. Means while studying the linear simple harmonic motion, this omega, it can be called as angular frequency, and it decides the periodicity of the vibrating particle. Okay, so here the vector sum of these two displacement, and that is given by the resultant displacement, say x. X is the resultant displacement. This is equal to x1 plus x2. Means we have to add these two equations so that you will get the vector sum of two individual displacement, and this will be the resultant displacement. This will be the resultant displacement. Now our aim is to prove that, or our aim is to verify that the combination of two simple harmonic motion, is it a simple harmonic motion or not? Whether it is a simple harmonic motion or not, this thing or this point we have to clarify. Means when we take the combination of two simple harmonic motion, we get one resultant motion, and we have to prove that, or we have to show that the given resultant motion is a simple harmonic motion. Means it must have to satisfy the basic conditions required for a particle to be in simple harmonic motion. So in short, just we'll verify whether the resultant motion is a simple harmonic motion or not. So for that, this is the resultant displacement x, which is given by x1 plus x2. This is equal to. Now we can add these two equations so that you will get a1 sine of omega t plus phi 1, omega t plus phi 1, plus a2 sine of omega t plus phi 2, omega t plus phi 2. Means x1 plus x2 is equal to the addition of these two equations. Now we can expand this equation. We can expand this sine of omega t plus phi 1 and sine of omega t plus phi 2 by using the trigonometric identity. What are that? Is equal to a1 into the expansion of the first term is sine omega t plus phi 1 is equal to sine omega t into cos of phi 1 plus cos omega t plus cos omega t sine of phi 1, This is the expansion of first term, means sine omega t cos of phi 1 into plus cos of omega t into sine of phi 1 plus the expansion of second term, This a2 keep it outside the bracket, and the expansion of this term will be again sine of omega t cos of phi 2 plus cos of omega t sine of phi 1 into sine of phi 2 to sine of phi 2. Now multiply a1 and a2 to both the brackets, so that you will get a1 sine of omega t cos of phi 1 plus a1 into this term a1 into cos of omega t sine of phi 1 plus a2 into sine omega t a2 sine omega t cos of phi 2 plus a2 into this term cos of omega t into sine of phi 2. So here what we have done, we have multiplied the first bracket by a1 and this second bracket by a2. Okay. Now here you can see, if you observe this equation, here you will get sine omega t, here also it is sine omega t, here it is cos omega t, and here also it is cos omega t. So we can take out it outside the we can take out it as a common factor, so that you will get, if you take out sine omega t here as a common, in bracket you will get a1 into cos of phi 1, a1 into cos of phi 1. Now if you take out sine omega t from this term, then here you will get remaining term will be a2 cos of phi 2 plus a2 cos of phi 2 plus similarly from this term we can take out cos omega t, here also it is cos omega t plus cos of omega t here you will get a1 into sine of phi 1 in bracket a1 into sine of phi 1 plus here you will get a2 into plus a2 sine of phi 2, a2 into sine of phi 1. So we got this bracket. If you observe this, this is a1 cos phi 1, a2 cos phi 2. Here it is a1 sin phi 1 plus a2 sin phi 2. So we can replace this term by one constant, say r cos delta, and this bracket by r sin delta. So where this r is the constant and it is the resultant amplitude, okay, and delta is the phase angle, okay. So that we'll see later on, but for time being we will substitute this bracket by r cos delta and this bracket by r sin delta. So taking substitution as, suppose r cos delta is equal to this bracket a1 cos of phi 1 plus a2 cos of phi 2, okay, and r sin delta is equal to a1 sin of phi 1 plus a2 sin of phi 2. So r cos delta is equal to a1 cos phi 1 plus a2 cos of phi 2, and r sin delta is equal to a1 sin phi 1 plus sin phi 2. Now if you substitute these substitutions, if you substitute this substitution here, this r cos delta and r sin delta in this equation, then what you will get? So this equation, it takes the form as, here instead of this bracket I will substitute r cos delta. Okay, so sin omega t, r, I will write it here, r into sin omega t into cos of delta, into cos delta, and here plus this cos omega t, keep it as it is, cos of omega t. Instead of this bracket I will substitute r sin delta, so this will be r and this is sin delta. This will be sin delta. So here you can take out r as a common, so that you will get r into sin omega t cos of delta plus cos omega t sin delta, cos omega t sin delta. If you observe this first equation, sin of omega t plus phi 1, the expansion of this term is like this, sin omega t cos of phi 1, means sin of first term into cos of second term, then plus cos omega t sin of phi 1. So if you compare this equation and this equation, you will find that this is nothing but the expansion of r into sin of omega t plus delta. Omega t plus delta means this is the expansion of sin of omega t plus delta. Now if you observe this equation and this equation, basic equation, here the displacement of a given simple harmonic motion or the first simple harmonic motion is given by a1 sin of omega t plus phi 1, where a1 is the amplitude of first SHM, phi 1 is the initial phase of the first SHM. So if you compare this equation and this equation, this is amplitude, so this is also amplitude. Sine, here also it is sine. Omega t means angular frequency into time into delta. So here this is initial phase and this is also initial phase. So from this what we can say, on left hand side we have the resultant displacement x. So the resultant displacement x is equal to a constant r into sine of omega t plus delta. Means the equation of resultant simple harmonic motion is same as that of the equation of linear simple harmonic motion. Means when we take the combination of two simple harmonic motion, we get one resultant motion, and this resultant motion is again a simple harmonic motion. Because its equation is same as that of the equation of linear simple harmonic motion. So here this is the resultant motion, which is a simple harmonic motion having the resultant amplitude as capital R and having the initial phase as delta. Okay, and this x is the resultant displacement. So this is confirmed that the superposition of two simple harmonic motion is again a simple harmonic motion. So now our aim is to find out the magnitude of the resultant amplitude R, or an equation for the resultant amplitude capital R. And this can be found out by using this basic equation. R cos delta is equal to a1 cos of phi 1 plus a2 cos of phi 2, and r sin delta is equal to a1 sin phi 1 plus a2 sin of phi 2. So if you add these two equations, if you add squaring and adding these two equations, means first of all you have to take the square of both the equations and then add it. Means squaring and adding these two equations will get an equation for capital R. Also we'll get an equation for delta. This is the resultant phase. Okay. So let us find this equation. Squaring and adding these two equations. So left hand side is R cos delta. Here it is R sin delta. So squaring means you will get R square cos square delta, R square cos square delta, here this is delta, plus R square sin square delta, R square sin square delta. This is equal to right hand side we have A1 cos of phi 1 plus A2 cos of phi 2. A1 cos of phi 1 plus A2 cos of phi 2 square plus A1 sin of phi 1 plus A2 sin of phi 2. Okay, and it's square. So what is the square of the first bracket? It is given by, it is equal to A1 square cos square phi 1 plus A2 square cos square phi 2, okay, plus 2 times A1 A2 cos of phi 1 into cos of phi 2 into cos of phi 2. Okay, this is the expansion of first bracket. The expansion of second bracket will be plus square of the first term, that is A1 square sin square of phi 1 plus A2 square sin square of phi 2 plus 2 times A1 sin A1 into A2 sin of phi 1 into sin of phi 2. Okay, so A1 sin square phi 1 plus A2 square sin square phi 2 plus 2 times A1 into sin of phi 1. So if you take out R square common, here if you take out R square common, then you will get cos square delta plus sin square delta. And this is one trigonometric identity in which sin square delta or sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Means if you take out R square as a common, then here you will get R square into 1, because sin square delta plus cos square delta is equal to 1. This is equal to. Here again, if you take out A1 square from this term and A1 square from this term as a common, then what you'll get? A1 square into cos square phi 1 plus sin square phi 1, or sin square phi 1 plus cos square phi 1. This is equal to 1. Plus cos square phi 2 plus cos square phi 2 plus sin square phi 2, and outside the bracket it is A2 square into 1 plus here this is twice A1 A2 is common, so we can take out it. Here you can see this is common, and here also a1 a2 is common. So we can take out it outside the bracket, so that you will get 2 times a1 a2 in bracket. Here you will get, first of all I will write sine phi 1 phi 2, sine phi 1 into sine of phi 2, okay, plus cos of phi 1 into cos of phi 2, sine phi 1 phi 2 plus cos of phi 1 into cos of phi 2. So I think this this is the simplified equation of this equation, because here it is a1 square, here also it is a1 square. So sine square phi 1 plus cos square phi 1. If you take out a1 square as common, then you will get a1 square into 1. Means the basic identity is sine square. The basic identity is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So using this identity, we can get this equation. So here this is equal to a1 square plus a2 square. a1 square plus a2 square is plus 2 times a1 into a2. So what is this? Sine phi 1 into sine of phi 2 plus cos of phi 1 into cos of phi 2. What is this? You will find that this is nothing but the expansion of cos of, this is nothing but the expansion of cos of phi 1 minus phi 2. Phi 1 minus phi 2 means the expansion of cos of phi 1 minus phi 2 is like this: sine of phi 1 into sine of phi 2, sine of phi 1 into sine of phi 2 plus, if it is minus then here you should write plus. So here it is minus, so plus cos of phi 1 into cos of phi 2, or the expansion of cos of phi 1 plus phi 2 will be like that: sine phi 1 sine phi 2 minus cos phi 1 cos phi 2. So these are all trigonometric identities, and by using that identities you will get this equation. On left hand side we have r square. This is r square is equal to. Now if you take the square root on both sides, if you take the square root of on both sides, what you will get? That we'll see. So here square root of this r square is simply r is equal to under root is equal to under root a1 square plus a2 square plus 2 times a1 a2 cos of phi 1 minus phi 2. This is under root sine. Okay. So this is an equation. This is an equation to obtain the resultant amplitude capital R. To obtain the resultant amplitude capital R, the amplitude of resultant simple harmonic motion. So by using this equation, you can find out. Now you can find out the initial phase, the resultant phase delta. The resultant phase delta. Again, we can use the basic two equations for r cos delta and r sin delta. R sin delta is equal to phi 1 sine of a1 into sine of phi 1. So that basic equation. Here we have taken the squaring and adding these two equations. Now we'll divide one equation by other equation. So suppose this r sin delta is divided by r cos delta. If you divide r sin delta by r cos delta is equal to R sine delta is equal to, we know that it is A1 sine phi 1 plus A2 sine of phi 2. A1 sine of phi 1 plus A2 sine of phi 2 divided by A1 cos of phi 1 plus A2 cos of phi 2. This you can remember simply as sin phi 1 sin phi 2, cos phi 1 cos phi 2, and here you will write A1 A2 A1 A2. Okay, so we know that this RR will get cancelled. This sin delta upon cos of delta, this is nothing but tan delta. This is nothing but tan of delta, and this remaining term will be as it is. This remaining term will be as it is. But our aim is to find out delta. Our aim is to find out this delta. So delta is equal to what? In order to find out delta, what we have to do? Delta is equal to tan inverse of this side. Tan inverse of this side. So delta is equal to tan inverse of A1 sin phi 1 plus A2 sin of phi 2 divided by A1 cos of phi 1 plus A2 cos of phi 2. So by using this equation, you can find out the resultant phase, and by using this equation, you can obtain the resultant amplitude of the given two simple harmonic motion. So this is these are the equations for capital R and delta. Now our aim is to find out under certain conditions, what is the resultant amplitude, that we will see one by one. The first case is, let us find out the first case, means if two simple harmonic motions are in phase. So in order to find out capital R under certain conditions, the first condition is if two simple harmonic motions, special cases, there are some special cases. The first case is if two SHM are in phase, means both the simple harmonic motions are in phase. Means there is no phase difference between the two given simple harmonic motions. So it means that phi 1 minus phi 2, this is the phase difference. Phi 1 minus phi 2, this is the phase difference, and this is equal to 0. Because the given two simple harmonic motions are in phase. This is the first case. So as phi 1 minus phi 2 is equal to 0, that is here we have cos of phi 1 minus phi 2. So if we substitute phi 1 minus phi 2 here as 0, then what you will get? That is cos of phi 1 minus phi 2. This is equal to cos of 0, and cos 0 is 1. We know that cos 0 is 1. So as cos 0 is 1, this is cos 0 is 1. So this equation, it takes the form as capital R is equal to here under root Here it is under root a1 square plus a2 square plus a2 square plus 2 times a1 a2 and cos of phi1 minus phi2, as there is no phase difference, means phi1 minus phi2 is equal to 0, that is cos of 0 is 1. So here you will get into 1. Means this is nothing but a1 square plus a2 square plus 2 times a1 a2. This is equal to under root a1 plus a2 bracket square. And if you take the square root of square, it means that is equal to a1 plus a2. That is equal to a1 plus a2. Means if there is no phase difference between the two simple harmonic motions, then in that case, means if they are in phase, in that case the resultant amplitude of the resultant simple harmonic motion is equal to the sum of two individual amplitudes. So that is equal to a1 plus a2. So if a1 is equal to a2 is equal to a, means if both the simple harmonic motions are having the same amplitude, that is equal to a. In that case, this implies that R is equal to a plus a, means it is equal to 2a. If you substitute here a1 is equal to a and a2 is equal to in this equation, then you will get a plus a, that is equal to 2a. That is equal to 2a. So this is the resultant amplitude of the given simple harmonic motion, 2a. Now let us find out the another equation for another case. So, special case number 2. If phase difference, if the phase difference between two simple harmonic motion is equal to phi 1 minus phi 2 is equal to pi by 2. So as the phase difference between two simple harmonic motion is equal to pi by 2, this means that they are in out of phase. Both the simple harmonic motions are in out of phase. This implies that they are out of phase. They are out of phase. So in that case, if phi 1 minus phi 2 is equal to pi by 2, if you substitute it here, then what you'll get, cos of phi 1 minus phi 2 means cos of pi by 2 is equal to 0. Because cos of pi by 2 is equal to 0, this implies that cos of phi 1 minus phi 2, that is equal to cos of pi by 2 is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. So if you substitute in this equation, then the resultant amplitude capital R is equal to, this is equal to under root a1 square plus a2 square plus a2 square, a1 square plus a2 square plus 2 into a1 a2 into 0 because cos of pi by 2 is 0. And finally we'll get this is equal to under root a1 square plus a2 square. a1 square plus a2 square. Now if if here we have considered A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A. Now considering the same condition, this equation it takes the form as if A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A. Then what you will get? Then you will get capital R is equal to under root A square plus A square, which is equal to 2A square. This is equal to root 2 times A. Root 2 times A. Means if both the simple harmonic motions are having the same value, that is equal to A, in that case the resultant amplitude of resultant simple harmonic motion, that is capital R, is equal to root 2 times A. This is our second condition. Now we'll obtain the third condition. We'll obtain the third condition and see what is that. Here this is suppose if two simple harmonic motions are in out of phase, then phi 1 minus phi 2 is equal to say pi. Pi means 180 degree. Pi means 180 degree. So this pen is very bad. Pi. Then cos of phi 1 minus phi 2 means cos of pi is equal to cos of pi is equal to minus 1. So if you substitute this value in this equation, then what you will get? This is equal to capital R is equal to A1 square plus A2 square plus 2 times A1 A2 into cos of 180 or cos of pi, and cos of pi is minus 1, so that minus sign I will write here, so that you will get 2A1 minus 2A1 A2. Means this is nothing but the square of A1 minus A2. This term is nothing but A1 minus A2 square. A1 minus A2 square. And the square root of this side is equal to A1 minus A2. And this is in mod. Means it is always positive. It may be A1 minus A2 or it may be A2 minus A1, whatever it may be, but outside the mod sign we will get a positive term. So if again A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A, then in that case R is equal to what? If you substitute A1 is equal to A, A2 is equal to A, so A minus A, you will get 0, means the resultant amplitude in that case is equal to 0. So this is about the three special cases. Means when a particle is performing when a single particle is subjected to two simple harmonic motions simultaneously, the resultant motion, it will be a simple harmonic motion, and it has the resultant amplitude as capital R, the resultant initial phase, that is equal to delta, and we have obtained the particular equations for capital R and delta, and also we have seen some special cases, means when the phase difference is equal to pi by 2, when the phase difference is equal to 180 degree or pi radian, or when there is no phase difference, means when phi1 minus phi2, this is equal to 0. Okay, so in all the cases we had seen the various conditions. Okay, now the next article is energy of a particle which is performing simple harmonic motion.